guys, I have Liddy Mae with me for this lesson. She fell asleep and there is nothing on the face of the planet that will wake her up. So she's just gonna do this session with us. Okay, so we are starting this lesson on 11.3. This is the third lesson for the first week and we're on page 651. So if you want to open up in your book to that page, awesome. Same idea as the first two. We're converting units of measurement, but today it's units of weight. And it's still customary, so these are still ones that we use here in the United States. Okay, 651, here we go. Maria adopted 4 dogs. Altogether, they eat 1 3/4 pounds of food each day. 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. How many ounces of food will the dogs eat in 5 days? Okay, the first thing I'm thinking in my head is that the dogs are eating their food in pounds, but they want the amount for 5 days in ounces. So guys, do you know anything about pounds and ounces? Yeah? When Liddy Mae was born, she weighed 6 pounds and 11 ounces. Which one's bigger, pounds or ounces? Pounds, that's right. 1 pound equals, I'm doing this one-handed, so y'all be patient with me. 1 pound equals 16 ounces, and OZ is the abbreviation for ounces. So will you write that down on your paper? 1 pound equals 16 ounces. Okay, if the dogs are eating 1 3/4 pounds each, let's figure out how many ounces that is. So we are moving from the bigger unit, pounds, to the smaller unit, ounces. Just like we've done the past 2 days, when we go from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, what operation do we do? Multiplication or division? Bigger to smaller. Multiplication, that's right. So we need to do 1 3/4 times how many ounces are in a pound? 16. So this is what our problem will look like. 1 3/4 times 16. Now, we obviously cannot multiply with a mixed number, right? So we change it to improper fraction. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3, 7/4 times 16. And 16 is the same as 16 over 1. Here's what my math looks like now. Now that I'm ready to multiply, I can just multiply straight across, right? So 7 times 16. Obviously, that's not in my head as a fact I know, so I'm just going to go over to the side and multiply. 16 times 7. I got 112 over 4. Are we going to leave it that improper fraction? No. So what do we need to do to change that? Right, we need to divide. So 112, girl, 112 divided by 4, and we'll just do long division. Go ahead and do that with me, please. I got that 112 divided by 4 is 28. So each dog eats 28 ounces of food a day. Now the last part of the question says, how much food do they eat in ounces after 5 days? So if we have, let's see, we have 28 ounces for each dog. Excuse me, 28 ounces for each day. We have 5 28s multiplied together, right? Or added together, excuse me. Or we could say 28 times 5. So that's 28 ounces for all 4 dogs a day times 5 days. 28 times 5. That's 140 ounces. And again, we abbreviate ounces with the abbreviation OZ. Sound good? Okay, look at the bottom. Which is the larger unit of weight? An ounce or a pound? We just talked about that, right? Which is larger? Pound. How can you use the relationship to find the number of ounces in 5 pounds? We have 5 pounds. What would we do to get the amount of ounces? Well, if we're going from the larger pounds to the smaller ounces, we multiply. So 5 times, what would the amount of ounces be in 1 pound? 16. 5 times 16. And you could solve that to get how many ounces would be in 5 pounds. Okay, turn your page over. All right, page 652. Bear with me, please. I'm doing this one arm. All right, an adult African elephant weighs about 5 tons. A baby African elephant weighs about 250 tons. How many pounds does the adult elephant weigh? How can you convert 250 pounds to tons? Do you know what a ton is? Do you? Look up at the top. It says 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. Tons are what we weigh things like elephants with, very heavy things, cars, big trucks, things like that. 1 pound equals 16 ounces. We already knew that. Look at box B for me. Oh, and it shows you the big elephant, the adult, is about 5 tons, and the baby is about 250 pounds. Okay, so the question is asking us, how can we convert, it's asking us 2 things. How many pounds does the adult elephant weigh? How can we convert 250 pounds to tons? Okay, the adult elephant right now weighs 5 tons. And we want to know what that is in pounds, correct? That's what they're asking in box B. So how many pounds is in 1 ton? Look at the top, it says 2,000, right? So if we have 5 tons, we're moving from bigger to smaller unit, tons to pounds. What do? Division, multiplication. Multiplication. 5 times 2,000, right? 5 times 2,000 equals 10,000. And in box B, they show you that. 5 tons equals 10,000 pounds. To convert from smaller units to larger units now, for the 250 pound baby, to convert that to tons, what operation will we do? Going from smaller to larger. Division, yeah, so 250 divided by 2,000. Oh, you're gonna say, oh, Miss Pender, what are you thinking? I'm gonna set that up as a fraction, 250 divided by 2,000. And if you look in your book, you can see where they did that. They divided both the top and the bottom. Both of them were divisible by 250, and they simplified that fraction to 1/8. And if you and I were to divide and do that whole problem, we would get that too. 1/8 of a ton is how much the baby weighs. At the bottom under convince me, it says, when you convert 16 pounds to ounces, do you multiply or divide? So if we're converting 16 pounds to ounces, we're going from big unit to small unit, do we multiply or we divide? We're converting from a larger to a smaller. So what do? Right, we multiply. Exactly right. Okay, flip it again. Don't worry, Liddy Mae, you just keep sleeping. Okay. Look at number 1 on page 653 with me. Would it be best to measure the weight of an egg in tons, pounds, or ounces? Okay, I want you to think about an egg, right? About this big. I wish I had brought an egg in from the kitchen. Would we measure that in tons? No. Would we measure it in pounds? What do you think the best measurement of that would be? Ounces. I agree. Okay, number 2, what types of tools do people select to measure weight? Obviously, a scale, right? Mr. Pender and I step on a scale in the morning. Liddy Mae goes to the doctor and lays on a scale. Minnie's over there lounging. She goes to the vet every 6 months and gets weighed on a scale. We measure our food on a little food scale. Those kinds of things help you measure weight. If you're in science class, like with Miss Milam, you might use one of those balancing pans, you know what I'm talking about? Where you put your grams and your kilograms on and it helps you decide what the weight is. That is also another way. Okay, let's do a few examples together and then I'm gonna let you hit the ground running because you should be getting the hang of this by now. Conversion is kind of the same idea with each lesson. Okay, let's look at number 3 on page 653. 2,000 pounds equals blank tons. Oh my goodness, they could not have given us an easier problem. How many tons is 2,000 pounds? They literally tell you it in the chart on the page before. 1, right? 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. Easy problem, easy problem. Okay, number 4. 48 ounces equals blank pounds. Okay, we're going from ounces, which are small, right, to pounds, which are bigger. So ounces to pounds. What do we do to get from small to big? Divide, that's right. 48 divided by, well, what would we divide by? Yeah, 16. Okay, so 48 divided by 16. I've got to go over to the side and think about that. About how many times do I think it might go in? Well, I know 16 times 2 is 32, so let's try 16 times 3. Jackpot. It goes in 3 times exactly. So 3 for number 4, 48 ounces equals 3 pounds. All right, I'm going to do number 5 with you. 6,500 pounds equals blank tons. Okay, we're going from pounds to tons. Pounds are smaller, tons are bigger. So what operation are we going to do to get from a small unit to a large unit? That's right, division. So 6,500 divided by how many pounds are in a ton? 2,000. Okay, so we're doing 6,500 divided by 2,000. Okay, I know 2,000 goes into there 3 times. That's 6,000. And then things get a little strange. And then I know that there will be 500 left over. So 3 out of 500 over 2,000. Kind of what my answer is going to look like. But I know I can simplify 500 over 2,000. If I take out those root numbers, 5 and 20, I can divide, right? Can't I? What would it simplify to be? I want you to do a little math right there. I want you to simplify 500 2,000s. What's it going to end up being? Think about your zeros. That's right. 3 and 1/4. 3 and 1/4. Good job. Okay. I'm going to do one more problem with you, and then you're on your own, kids. Let's look at number 7. Number 7, you have to fill in by comparing with a greater than, a less than, or an equal to sign. Now, if you're getting confused still with the greater than or less than, go all the way back to your 3rd grade brain and think about the greedy gator. Remember greedy gator? He eats whatever the bigger number is, okay? So 2 tons, that big T, if you did not realize already, stands for tons, equals blank pounds. Oh, no, that's wrong. Excuse me. I apologize. I'm looking at the wrong problem. 2 tons, and then there's a blank, and then 45,000 pounds. Okay, let's think about that. 2 tons. How many pounds are in 1 ton? 2,000, right? So how many pounds would be in 2 tons? Well, 2,000 times 2 is 4,000. So 4,000 tons, 4,000 pounds, 4,000 pounds compared to 45,000 pounds is really what that's saying. What symbol goes in the middle? Right, less than. 4,000 is less than 45,000. Good job. Okay, so takeaway from all of this, the ounces are the smallest amount, and there are 16 ounces in a pound. The pounds are the medium amount, and there are 2,000 pounds in a ton, and the ton is the large amount, okay? Guys, you did awesome. Great job. Go look at the packet to see which problems you need to do, okay? I don't want you to have to do all of them unless you feel like it. All right, thanks. Love y'all. Bye.